Hello, this is Ryan J. with Conservative Corner Entertainment 2. Our next guest is a man named Ryan McClain, running for Ohio State Representative. Do you want to tell us exactly what office and district that you are running for?
It's always great to be with you. I'm running for state representative of District 15 in Ohio as a Republican to protect individual freedom and protect the entire Bill of Rights.
So, tell the viewers, in short, what got you interested and involved in politics?
Absolutely. So the reason why I'm involved in this race is because I noticed that in the Ohio State House, there isn't a voice protecting individual liberty. There isn't. Oh, the Ohio State House is missing a voice that's going to protect all of your rights all the time. I'm running for state representative as a Republican to give Ohio a chance at having a voice that stands up for we the people, because we the people demand nothing less than all of our rights. We the people demand that the Bill of Rights be protected. We the people demand that our individual freedoms are enshrined in the Ohio Constitution, and we demand the freedoms that are enshrined in the United States Constitution. I'm going to stand up for life. I'm going to stand up for liberty, and I'm going to stand up for the entire Bill of Rights.
Okay, so what made you decide to run for the position that you are running for?
Absolutely. So I got involved in politics when I was just 19 years old in 2018. I ran for state representative in 2018 under a different political party against the now state representative Brad Rose Sweeney, the Democrat. There was no Republican in that race, and I got almost 30% of the vote. I decided that I could do more for the liberty movement, for the freedom movement as a Republican than I could under that particular third party. So I decided to then run for state representative in 2022 as a Republican. I originally assumed that I was going to be challenging the individual that I lost to in 2018, that was State Representative Brad Rose Sweeney. Unfortunately, because the Democrats love to play games with paint by number with the maps, because apparently it was unfair, I got lumped in with State Representative Tom Patton in the 2022 Republican primary. I stayed in that race because I wanted to be the only voice for medical freedom, the only voice for Republican values, conservative values, values of liberty. I was proud to be the only candidate in that race who stood for medical freedom, who had the support of Ohio advocates for medical freedom. I was proud to be the only candidate in that race standing up for all of your rights all the time.
When do voters get to vote, and where can they go and vote in your district?
And that's actually a really great question. You should have gotten something in the mail from the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections telling you where your polling location is. If you did not, you can go to the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections website and you can type in your information under the Voters tab, and you should find the information that you need regarding your polling location, where to vote, and how to vote.
So, Ryan, there has been a lot of political talk of political beef between you and the Cuyahoga County, Ohio GOP and the Middleburg Heights, Ohio GOP. Do you want to tell us what some of that beef is about?
Again, so the things that were publicly said about me weren't made by Mr. Aaron Borowski. They were made by the president of the Middleburg Heights Republican Club. They were made by Parma Republican leadership. They were made by the Republican Party of Cuyahoga County, and more so Parma back in 2022. But in 2024, they did line a bunch of people up at the Republican Party of Cuyahoga County endorsement meeting to pretty much speak out against me, speak out my policy positions, and make up lies about them. Specifically, my position on defending the right to life. So my position on that is that we need to propose a House joint resolution in the Ohio State House, which would be a ballot initiative to abolish Article 1, Section 22 of the Ohio Constitution, which is the abortion rights amendment. It would need 3/5 of the state legislature, and then it would then go to the Secretary of State's office to be approved, which would then go to the ballot for we the people to have a real chance at defending the right to life. The claim made against me by Parma Republican leadership was that I was just going to send it to the governor's desk for him to sign the law, only to get overturned by the Ohio Supreme Court. And they knew that was a lie.
What started all this turmoil or political beef, if you will?
Right. So one that really does get to me is the Middleburg Heights GOP claimed that Aaron Borowski was the only quote unquote serious candidate that is running for state representative. And I found that to be a sort of an indirect attack. I'm the only candidate in this race that isn't endorsed by Frank LaRose. Frank LaRose worked with Governor Mike DeWine and Amy Acton during 2020 to lock down Ohioans indefinitely, unconstitutionally. and without any sort of due process of law. I'm the only candidate in this race who's not endorsed by Dave Yost. Dave Yost is another authoritarian rhino. I'm the only candidate in this race who has a plan to protect medical freedom. Now, Aaron Borowski, I don't have really much beef with him, like you said, but I will say this. When he was city councilman, you can find this information online. Aaron Borowski supported a resolution in Brooklyn, where he's city councilman at, to support Ukraine. This would be Brooklyn city tax dollars going to support Ukraine. I'm the only candidate in this race that says not one Ohio penny goes to foreign unconstitutional wars that we cannot afford as a state. We certainly cannot afford as a country.
We here at CCE2, including myself, Ryan J., we've heard some of the rumors that have been said about you by some members of the Ohio, Middleburg Heights, Ohio GOP and the Cuyahoga County GOP that you deem to be untrue, or members of other organizations within the Ohio political party. Would you like to tell us what things have been said that you deem to be untrue about you or misleading?
It's funny you mention that because myself and Aaron Borowski, despite our political differences, we don't really have much political beef with each other. In fact, I've even pledged to support whoever the eventual Republican nominee is for state representative of District 15, because I recognize how important it is to ensure that a Democrat does not win this seat. The political beef is between myself and leadership with the Republican Party of Middleburg Heights, the Middleburg Heights GOP. The Middleburg Heights GOP president has verbally attacked my disabled brother. He has attacked my mother. And honestly, I do not know where it came from. I have an idea of where this political turmoil may have resided from. Back in 2022, I stood up to the political establishment. And this political turmoil, it doesn't just affect me. There's a candidate running for state central committee. I wanted to talk about this. Her name is Melanie Mason, and her opponent stood up and during the Republican Party of Cuyahoga County endorsement meeting, and Melanie Mason's opponent verbally attacked her character, attacked who she is as a person, and attacked her support for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. I found these attacks to be really disturbing, and I was originally going to support Melanie Mason's opponent. And I even gave Melanie Mason's opponent a second chance because a good friend of mine, David Morgan, who ran for state representative of District 14 in 2022, Melanie Mason's opponent went to David Morgan and claimed that she supported David Morgan. Later, towards the end of the primary, come endorsement time, turncoated on David Morgan and publicly endorsed his opponent, Jolene Austin, at the time. So what's going on here is the political elite is more afraid of losing their power, losing their political positions, losing their corporate donations than they are on standing on principle, standing on individual freedom. We need a lot less of that in Ohio politics, and we certainly need a lot less of that in the Ohio Republican Party.
Well, we only got a few moments left, but I will give the floor to you. The camera is yours for the next minute or two. Now is the time to address any concerns, issues, or political attacks and issue any kind of defense on your behalf right now.
Now, I want to end with this. If you want a candidate, if you want someone in the Ohio State House who's going to protect what we the people demand nothing less of, which is all of your rights all the time, if you want a candidate who's going to stand for education freedom, if you want a candidate who's going to stand for liberty, the Bill of Rights, if you want a candidate who's going to stand up for your right to practice your faith, how you choose, if you want a candidate who's going to keep the government out of both your private lives and your wallets, I'm your guy. I'm fighting for individual liberty, and I want to be your voice of reason, of conscience, and of individual rights in the State House. I'm Ryan McClain, and I'm running for state representative, and I'm proud to be on your ballot to be a voice of conscience, to be a voice of liberty in Ohio.
Well, we thank you for being on the show, and don't forget, Ohio, March 19th, Tuesday, 2024, we vote in the Ohio GOP primary. Don't forget to subscribe to us here at Conservative Corner Entertainment 2 for more real news and entertainment every day.